Best driver between us two. I mean, Rebekah, she's really fast at driving, but I would definitely say, would you agree that I'm...
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the better driver.
He drives like your grandma.
But we get places safely.
I would love to have at least 7 children.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
Oh my gosh, we're trying.
Our first interaction that we had was when I was about 11, right? Mm-hmm. And we hopped up into a car, and as I entered into this minivan, this beautiful blonde girl, 12-year-old girl, she said, "Hey, I like your blue Hurley shirt." And that's when my heart melted, and I knew she was the one.
The first time we really noticed each other and became friends was at Big Sur, California. It's this gorgeous beach, and we were on the sand dunes. Bon Iver was playing, and I ran up and I was like, "Oh my gosh, is this Bon Iver?" And Samuel said, "This is Bon Iver." And then we started talking about music, and that's really when the friendship started.
I remember that I just turned 16, and my dad, who's asking me in the kitchen, he's like, "Who are you gonna ask on your first date?" And I was wondering who could be this woman that I'd ask on a date. And then it hit me, Rebekah Ruth Volkman. I could ask her. And so I knew that she loved Bon Iver because we had that special beach experience. And so what I did is I found her at church, and we were talking a little bit. I was kind of awkward, and then I asked her for her favorite bands to write me a list, and I promised her that I'd write her a list, and once we have those, we can listen to those songs together up in the hills.
So he came to my door. He was such a gentleman, and talked to my parents, and after he came to the door, we got in his car, and he opened the door for me, and I jumped in, and we had the best time up in the hills, just talking and laughing. And we were there for about 3 or 4 hours just talking and looking at the freeway lights and just together. And I remember it just felt so familiar being with him.
If you wait, the one I love is falling for me now. The one I love is falling for me now.
It was nice because we remained friends, and he still took me on dates. And before we left on our missions, I was able to express my true feelings for him that I had developed throughout those next couple of years. And we decided to write handwritten letters to one another every week of our missions, and talked about marriage and really saw a future together.
So throughout our missions, Rebekah and I were very close. We always felt a close presence to Graham and Papa, who are my grandparents. And they'd always write handwritten letters to each other when they were on their missions. And so we always felt that we were kind of like them. And I remember one day, Rebekah and I, we were in the car, and we were reading Graham and Papa's letters that they wrote to each other, and we came across the engagement letter. And so this is a letter that Papa wrote Graham when he was on his mission, and he wrote the most beautiful letter to her to express his love and to ask for her hand in marriage. And Rebekah instantly, she fell in love with this letter. So then she was in Utah, I was in California, and I knew that I'd be coming to Utah. And so what I did is I got that same letter and I took out the name of Graham and I put Rebekah's. And so with her name, I was able to construct a beautiful letter, and it's kind of like with my grandpa. And so with that letter and a special ring that my mom let me have that was kind of inheritance to Rebekah, I got flown out to Utah, came here, and then I asked for her hand in marriage, and after that, her dad and I, we perfected our plan that we come to a very special place for the Folkman family, and that's Three Falls. And there at Three Falls, there's a very special bridge called Brooks Bridge, and it's dedicated to the wonderful woman, Brooke, that we all love.
Oh, I was thinking that we were going to see something for my parents, and so I was totally taken off guard, and I saw the sunflowers and I was like, oh my gosh, what did my dad do for my mom? And then I just squoze Sam's hand and I was like, are you proposing to me? And then we walked up to this bridge and Sam handed me a letter on Brooks Bridge, and I opened the letter and read it and was just in tears, and I felt Graham and Papa and my sister Brooke very close, and it was a really sweet spirit. And Sam got on one knee and asked me to be his wife, and of course I said yes, and it was the happiest moment of my life by far.
The good, it will come if you wait. The one I love is falling for me now.
There's so much that I adore about Samuel. I love his sweet personality and his kind spirit, and he's so selfless and so centered on serving others and loving others. He truly is the most Christ-like person that I know, and he is so patient with me and and always uplifts me and makes me feel so loved and special.
What I love most about Rebekah definitely is her creativity. She is the most creative person that you will ever meet. The way her mind works is, she's the most complex thinking human being that has ever existed in this world. And with that, she's been able to develop herself into an amazing artist, and she's been able to have the best taste of music. And more than anything, with that creativity that she has, she's been able to develop a strong spirituality that has just struck me. And there's no other woman that has a testimony like Rebekah, that has her goals, that has her desires.